What's up guys, today's video is going to be all about what it's like to live with a chronic illness as a young person. Being diagnosed with a chronic illness at any age is a hard pill to swallow, but especially when you're young. It changes your life in so many ways, as you have to start thinking and planning ahead a lot more than what you usually would. Spontaneous trips and nights out can be done if you think you're up to it, but it may also have its consequences. So you have to really think about whether it's worth it, especially if you've had a long week at work, school, university or college, and then your mate rings you up on the weekend and asks if you want to go out clubbing on a Saturday night, and you have to think, how is this going to impact me for the upcoming week? Being a young person with chronic illness, you see all of your friends going out and having a good time, but you may not be able to join in every single time. I was diagnosed at the age of 21. I'd just gotten out of an abusive relationship and I wanted to enjoy my freedom. Being newly diagnosed, wanting to experience single life and also juggling university was really difficult for me at the time. I wanted to join in with everyone else and live a normal life. I was a university student and going out most weekends, but this came at a price. My body just couldn't keep up with it. I was falling behind at university, and all of this was for the sake of me going out. But I wanted to fit in, I wanted to experience that, and I wanted to have that normal life just like everybody else. But the difference was, they didn't have a chronic illness and I did. I hadn't learned about how to pace myself, which, to be honest, I'm not the best at anyway because I have such a stubborn personality. But I always had a sense of jealousy when I saw everybody posting about their weekends. It just solidified the fact that my life had changed so dramatically. But why me? Being a young person with a chronic illness means that you're not likely to be taken seriously by health professionals, which sucks because your age doesn't define whether or not you're going to get certain things. But it makes you start questioning yourself and you start thinking, is it all in my head? Because no one will take you seriously just because of that number. And it can severely impact your self-esteem and your self-worth when no one is taking you seriously just because of your age. You're more likely to face ignorance and judgment from being a young person with a chronic illness. For example, I'll be all done up, full face of makeup and I look nice, but I'm in a wheelchair. You'll find that you'll get a lot of looks because people will stare at you. And it does make you think, do they think I'm faking? Or do I deserve to be in a wheelchair? She looks fine. Why is she in a wheelchair? All because I've got a bit of makeup on. But what they don't know is that you thought you'd do yourself up because you're feeling alright. But then that takes it out of you. So you need to use your wheelchair if you need to still go out. That doesn't cross people's minds. When people think of a disabled person having your hair done up and having your makeup done, it doesn't quite fit with what people expect from a disabled person, which sucks. You're allowed to have makeup on and you're allowed to do your hair. While being disabled, it doesn't mean that your struggles are any less valid. It can also be quite hard to maintain relationships. Not just any relationships, but romantic relationships. As mentioned earlier on, I was single for the first time in 5 years at the age of 21, and the dating game had changed completely since I was 16. I didn't really know how to go about dating, but going about dating as a disabled person was even harder because you have to think about, do I tell them about what's wrong with me? Or do I keep it to myself and let them find out if it gets to that point? You don't really want to be sat there on your first date talking about your medical history and what medications you're on because of it. That's not fun for anybody. But you also think, if I don't tell them about it, will it scare them off because I hid it from them? Or does me telling them mean that they'll get scared off from that too? Or will they get annoyed because they don't know what's going on with you, but you have to keep cancelling or rearranging? It's just a very tough minefield to navigate. Education is a big concern as well. I've had to make that tough choice to quit university as a result of my chronic illness, as I couldn't cope with it anymore. Universities tend to have disability advisors who are there to help you with any changes that you need to help with your education. If you've got your heart set on doing this degree so that you can access the career path that you've chosen for later on in life, but you're struggling to attend university lectures, it does make you worry about your future as well. Everybody worries about their future. However, with a chronic illness, you have that extra layer of worry on top of it. You start thinking, is your condition going to get worse? What about if I want to have a family, and how will my chronic illness impact my children? And all of these different things can contribute to your fear. It can be really hard to cope mentally when you have a chronic illness, but it's so important to communicate your needs and your wants to someone else. This could be to your partners, your parents, your friends, your university lecturers, strangers online, just anybody, even me. My DMs are open if you need to vent about anything, because I've been there and I know what it's like to struggle. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please smash a big thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!